The moment of grief very evident in the very street you're standing at from earlier this morning when the family members got the news. Just help viewers understand, if you can, Lindsay, the extent of the gang violence in that area that you are in. It's nothing new, and that's why I think many people in the area are trying to understand what exactly is happening in that street where you are and that area where you are.
Gareth, I have to say this particular street, eyewitnesses again telling me, people who live on the street, that this is not really the street where you see a lot of gang violence of late, even though this is where Rashied Staggie lived and eventually died, and also his twin brother Rashied Staggie was burnt alive in this very street in 1996. This has been a really a quiet street. It's not a street where they see gang activity happening. They said Rashied Staggie came and went fairly easily, walked down the road. There's a shop on the corner just down from where I'm standing, and he moved really easily and without hindrance in the street, presumably without fear. It's in other parts of the city. I am just about 9-10 kilometers away from the city centre. It's a lot further out away from the city centre in Mitchell's Plain and Manenberg, where we see the gang violence. While still to be confirmed, we believe that is possibly where in Mitchell's Plain, where Staggie's son might also have come under attack, and where there was that fatal shooting of the same gang, Hard Livings, yesterday. So this particularly not the area where you see the kinds of levels of gang violence that you see elsewhere in bigger areas on the outskirts of the city. But earlier today, I understand your colleague spoke to Don Pinnock, an expert on gang violence in the Cape, and this is what he had to say and how he's reading of Rashied Staggie's killing earlier today.
It's surprising that Rashied lasted so long. I mean, he's been a gang leader beyond many gang leaders. And it is surprising that he survived. He was 15 years or 13 years in jail for all sorts of awful things. I really do worry that this sort of thing kicks off major gang war. Hard Livings have been at war with the Sexy Boys and the Americans for an awfully long time. When Staggie came out, he was on parole, but it's hard to imagine that he wasn't involved in gang business. And so I think this is a kind of revenge killing or a tit-for-tat killing, but I do worry that it's going to kick off a gang war. But the main likelihood is the Americans gang or possibly the Sexy Boys. Jerome Donkey Boyson was Sexy Boys, and there was a hit on him. So, this could be another tit-for-tat kind of killing.
Lindsay, just before I say goodbye to you for the moment, that's been the reaction of experts. Obviously, we've seen the family reaction expectedly. Very emotional. What are the police doing at the moment? Yes, they'll say investigations ongoing. Are they cordoning off areas? Are they asking people to look out for suspects? Are they giving you any detail as to how the public might be able to be helpful?
Well, the police have left the scene now, as I say, but in a statement they released earlier, they said they were going to intensify their patrols in this area of Salt River and neighbouring Woodstock. I can also tell you, contrary to what Don Pinnock has said in that bite just a short while ago, we also spoke to Rashied Staggie's younger brother, Solomon Staggie. He told us that they don't want to speculate as to what might be the reason for his brother's death, and that the family is not one to seek revenge and retaliation for this killing, and so they don't really want to be drawn on any speculation as to who might be behind this killing, and they said they will still discuss any funeral plans. We know Rashied Staggie, a born Muslim, but in recent years converted to Christianity. We saw a pastor here earlier today who was part of reintegrating Rashied Staggie back into society and leading him down that path of Christianity. So we wait for further details from the family as to what might happen next, and for the police to give us any indication of whether they are any closer to finding those two assailants, they say, who just emerged. They don't say how, but they do say that they fled on foot. And so no further details yet from the police, neither also confirming whether Staggie's, one of his children, has also been shot elsewhere in the city.
All right. We'll continue to follow that lead for us. Lindsay Dentlinger, thank you.